Hello everyone out there in the universe, I'm Walle, and welcome to a new type of video. Today we're technically playing Dwarf Fortress. If you don't know what Dwarf Fortress is, it is a game, it's more of a storytelling type of game, where you generate a world, and then you can play Fortress mode, with a bunch of dwarves, and you have a bunch of fun with that, or you play Adventure mode, where you play as like a little hero who could be a peasant or whatever, and just like go around doing real fun stuff. Or we're gonna do what we're doing today, which is Legends mode. Legends mode is nice, because how Dwarf Fortress works is that all the worlds are pre-generated with histories, battles, and all this other kind of crazy stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new world, and I'm not really going to be playing Dwarf Fortress today. Instead, well, let's just create a new world and get that started anyways. So, Dwarf Fortress world generation takes quite a bit. You can change the size, in the world settings you can change like size of the world and minerals and civilizations. I made sure there were a bunch of civilizations and a bunch of beasts. You'll see why. So we're currently stopping. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Oh, uh-oh. Hey, Dwarf Fortress, please do not. Come on, come on, dude. All right, so we're stopping. So welcome to the world of Zilirthur, the Eternal Universes. That's the name of the world itself. We're in the Age of Myth. The year is 206. There's a bunch of historical figures. About almost half of them are dead, and about 507,000 events have happened. Events go from like stuff like, oh, a couple married, to like civilizations having a sporting event of some sort, to wars have happened, betrayals, all that stuff. So we're going to use the world as it currently exists. It's gonna finalize everything, and we are going to go into Legends mode. And we're back. So we're going to go into Legends. Wait for it to load. Which hopefully shouldn't be that bad. When loading back into worlds, it's normally not that bad. It's like when you're done with them, and then you have to go back and select whatever you want. Woo! Alright, so we have historical figures, sites, artifacts, regions, underground regions, civilizations and other entities, structures, historical maps, and the Age of Myth is just the entire thing. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into historical figures. And so you can see some cool stuff right here, such as female, like, there's dragons, bronze colossi, which are these big sentient, or not sentient, but they're big living bronze colossi. They're like these huge metal beings that leak out steam and stuff. There's hydras and dragons, all the usual fantasy stuff. There's rocks, which are just real big birds. But here is our quarry for today, folks. Forgotten Beasts. Now, Forgotten Beasts are very, very cool. So, today is the 17th of September, and by the... I haven't actually done the math. So, by the 23rd, I'll have made 7 Forgotten Beast drawings. Now, Dwarf Fortress, there is currently a graphics update coming out, but it's not that complicated. I'll put up some footage of what a typical Dwarf Fort looks like with the tile set I'm using. It's not exactly a graphical game, so most of them, it's a lot of theater of the mind in terms of, like, what does a Forgotten Beast look like? Let me show you. Let's see. Engo, the Forgotten Beast. Some of these are like, Cosplayer is like the name, and some of them actually mean something. Like Edvith is the scandalous, but and for example, Engo is just Engo. So we're going to go in here. Engo. Engo was a forgotten beast. It was the only one of its kind, which is the unique thing. All forgotten beasts are unique. So Engo, for example, is a huge feathered scorpion. It has large mandibles and it undulates rhythmically. Its azure feathers are fluffed out. Beware its poisonous sting. Engo was associated with depravity and caverns. So you can see that this Engo guy has history. In a time before time, Engo began watering the depths of the world. Forgotten beasts are all found underground, like in a fort. Like when you're digging down in a fortress, you will find cavern layers, and these things will come out, and they're scary. So became an enemy of these two entities, which I assume are I assume these are two dwarf fortresses or dwarf civilizations, and as you can see, Engo has attacked. Has attacked this one dwarf. Attacked the dwarf Sprinkle Cobalt in the mid-spring of '93. Oh, his right eye got torn out. So there's a fucking dwarf somewhere named Stuco Sprinkle Cobalt who has like a cool eye patch now because his eye got torn out by Engo the Scorpion. So here's what we're gonna do. I might actually keep Engo. I like Engo. But here's what we're going to do. For me, for these next 7 days, or I guess Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, that's 7. So by Friday, I will have 7 forgotten beasts that I will draw, because this right here, is all you get in terms of what a forgotten beast looks like. So I'm going to go through and select. Obviously, I'm going to keep Engo. I'm going to go through and select everything that I want, and I'll see you guys in the speed paints. And welcome back. So obviously, first up for the Forgotten Beast is our boy Engo. And in case you weren't listening to me earlier, here's his description. Engo was a forgotten beast. It was the only one of its kind, a huge feathered scorpion. It has large mandibles and it undulates rhythmically. Its azure feathers are fluffed out. Beware its poisonous sting. Engo was associated with depravity and caverns. Now, this was a very fun piece to do. Honestly, all of these, for the most part, have been very fun pieces to do. Engo, it was fun. I based the actual scorpion, the specific scorpion I used was the Emperor Scorpion. I basically looked up a rare and big scorpion, and that was the one that came up. So I was really happy with how the claws turned out, how they're like bulbous. And also, of course, the Dwarf Stukos. I looked them up. Apparently, Mayans has like a whole ass love life. He obviously survived Engo's initial encounter with him, and he's a mad lad. He had like a bunch of lovers, I think, and at this point in the history of the Eternal Universes, I believe he is basically a clergyman of some kind in a religion. It's really cool. But yeah, that's it for Engo. I really like how he turned out. Yeah. Next up, Esnust, the Ashen Squid. Esnust, the Ashen Squid, was a forgotten beast. It was the only one of its kind. A towering toad with external ribs. It has a knobby shell and it has a bloated body. Its silver skin is sleek and smooth. Beware its poisonous bite. Esnust was associated with water, murder, and caverns. Ah, good old Esnust. This was a rather fun one to do, in terms of like toads. Toads in general look real funky. In fact, while researching, I found some very flat-looking toads. I believe they're called Calaromba toads. They're really flat. They're real silly looking, and the naming scheme for Forgotten Beasts is all random. Like, all names are randomized. So the Ashen Squid, yeah, it's not actually a squid. It's a toad. It also has a poisonous bite, so I gave it teeth. Yeah, everything in with Forgotten Beasts where it's like, beware its poisonous bite, or sting, or dust. All that stuff is super dangerous. Like, if a dwarf inhales it or gets infected by it, it can cause mass illness and like all this crazy stuff. Sorry for being gory, but like it can be like their skin sloughs off, or they're paralyzed, or a mix of many different things. TLDR, it's not fun for anyone. It's not fun for anyone involved, and it's a lot of cleaning. But yeah, Esnust is very fun to do. Drawing ribs on the outside of a fucking toad, yeah, that sure was fun. Next up, Ostar Shadowheart. Ostar Shadowheart was a forgotten beast. It was the only one of its kind, a great three-eyed iguana. It has two long, straight tails, and it undulates rhythmically. Its mauve scales are blocky and close set. Beware its poisonous gas. Ostar was associated with caverns and blight. Okay, Ostar, this one was a fun one. Honestly, I think of the ones I've done, he's one of my favorites. It mentions in his lore that he devoured several things. One of the things he devoured was a plump helmet man. So in Dwarf Fortress, there are intelligent animals. Basically, there are furries in Dwarf Fortress. Like, straight up, there are owl men and bear men. That's just like, it's like bear men, bear woman type beat. And plump helmets are these little mushroom guys. Plump helmets are a mushroom that dwarves grow to make ale. And yeah, in the caverns, you can just straight up find some plump helmet men. They're like fully sentient. They can't really speak. They don't have eyes, but they just kind of, walk around. And so I thought I would draw Ostar in the process of devouring Vio, which is the name of this little guy. It was very fun drawing the plump helmet man. I spent like no time on him, but like I love him so much. I love Vio. I want a plush of him. Next up, Sath. Sath was a forgotten beast. It was the only one of its kind. A towering, three-eyed stegosaurid. It has large mandibles and it has a bloated body. Its eyes glow violet. Its moss green scales are oval-shaped and set far apart. Beware its poisonous bite. Sath was associated with water, nightmares, and caverns. Now, this one's a bit different from the other forgotten beasts you've seen so far. Because I'm drawing a little guy in a cabinet dreaming about the forgotten beast. So to explain, I had no ideas for this piece. I literally had nothing, and on a whim, I thought of, hey, I have a character who is a dwarf. What if I just draw him having a nightmare about said forgotten beast? And I honestly, I didn't read all the way through. I didn't know it was associated with nightmares, but it works. That's my OC Taka. He's my One Piece RPG character, and he is a dwarf. Except One Piece dwarves are like 9 inches tall or something like that. So my boy Taka, he's an inventor and cyborg. I'm not gonna get into it, but he does sleep in a cupboard, and so that's why he's just snoozing there.
He sounds like this.
I can't do his voice right now.
It's kind of up here, you know. He's a very silly guy. And actually recently, he got a gun where he made himself a gun that fires magic bullets. It's fun. I love the One Piece RPG. I have no idea if I'll ever talk about it again on this channel, but yeah, Taka's just having a nightmare about Sath. This is in no way a canon drawing. If any fucking people from the One Piece, from my RPG group are watching this, it's not canon. This is just a silly. Next up, Uker Tombsweats. Uker Tombsweats was a forgotten beast. It was the only one of its kind. A huge, six-legged sloth with lidless eyes. It undulates rhythmically. Its midnight blue hair is long and wavy. Beware its poisonous sting. Uker was associated with water, caverns, and blight. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Uker might be my actual favorite one I've drawn so far. I don't know, I'm just absolutely in love with how it turned out. I had the idea, of course, that sloths are really lazy, and so I figured a big sloth isn't much different. So I just had him sleep on a big mushroom. I thought it looked funny. Yeah. Dwarf Fortress doesn't really care about what animal it is. It will give it random parts, such as a stinger, which is why this sloth has a poisonous stinger. Yeah, I don't know. I just love Uker. I love his face especially. Just lidless eyes. I mean, that just means they can't close. They're just big old peepers. It's good. I love Uker.
next up on our list, Nomar, or translated, the Abyssal. The Abyssal was a forgotten beast. It was the only one of its kind, a towering humanoid composed of steam. It has a knobby shell and it squirms and fidgets. The Abyssal was associated with water, deformity, and caverns. And here is one of the ones I was hoping to show you guys. Forgotten beasts don't need to be made out of flesh and bone. They can be made out of basically any material. I've seen them made of coral, lava, raw sewage, steam, obviously. They can basically be anything, and you would think, like, a steam one might be kind of durable. No, it's not. The steam, like, ones that are made of water or fire or steam or like the intangible, like less tangible things, they're pretty easy to deal with, although they are still relatively dangerous. But any of the ones that can be made of stone or wood are a lot harder to deal with. Also, I'm not a big fan of Nomar. His name is cool, but the piece itself, I honestly was kind of lacking. I felt, I don't know, maybe you guys will like it. And finally, Sinur Sunkstandard was a forgotten beast. It was the only one of its kind, a huge, skinless crocodile. It has wings and undulates rhythmically. Beware its deadly spittle. Sinur was associated with water, thraldom, and caverns. And let me tell you what, Sinur is a piece of shit crocodile. I hate drawing him. Oh my god. Okay, so I actually had to look up, like, anatomy, obviously, in order to draw this boy. But more than that, I also had to look up, basically skinless crocodiles, which don't if you're very squicky. I ended up on quite a few images of how they make gator, like gator skin bags and what have you. It's not pleasant. I eventually found like an anatomy statue, which was completely just muscle and bone boy, which was a lot better. And so, yeah, this guy, major pain in the ass. He was the final one to do. I was gonna do him next after Ostar, but I just couldn't. Or Sath. I was actually gonna do him after Sath, but that was like 3 reptiles in a row, and I just couldn't. I had to like take a break and do the other ones. Yeah, Sinur, I fucking hate him. I absolutely detest him because anatomy's hard. First of all, you may have noticed I traced some parts. I don't know if you could see it in the Speedpaint, but in a couple of the ones I traced over some parts of the reference images so I can get a better idea of how they're built. Yeah, this guy, yeah. I had to look up bird wings so I could look up at their muscles so I could add wings to this bastard. I'm glad he's dead. Yeah, that's what that dwarf's all about. Yeah, I just, stab him with the spear. I hate Sinur. He's cool. It ended up fine, but fuck, man.